Hi, this is Rachel Israel with STEM News and Global World Report. We have breaking news that will have a huge impact on the global scene in the very near future. Let's take a look at what's going on around the world.
A new wind is blowing across the African continent. From the heart of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore has emerged as a beacon of hope and a symbol of defiance against neo-colonialism. Traore's vision is clear: to liberate Africa from the clutches of Western economic domination and chart a new course for self-reliance and prosperity. His audacious plan has sent shockwaves through the halls of Western institutions, challenging the established global financial order. Can Traore succeed where others have failed? Traore's rise to prominence has been swift and dramatic. He embodies the frustrations of a generation disillusioned by empty promises and continued exploitation. Many see in him a modern-day Thomas Sankara, echoing the revolutionary spirit of Pan-Africanism that once ignited the continent. Traore's message resonates deeply with African youth, who are yearning for a leader who dares to challenge the status quo. His unwavering commitment to economic independence has earned him both admiration and apprehension, setting the stage for a pivotal moment in Africa's history. Traore's vision extends beyond the borders of Burkina Faso. He envisions a united Africa, free from the shackles of external control, where its vast resources are harnessed for the benefit of its people. His bold pronouncements and decisive actions have put the international community on notice. The old order is being challenged, and the outcome remains uncertain. However, one thing is clear: Africa is no longer content to be a pawn in the global power game. Captain Traore's audacious challenge to Western banking systems is not without precedent. The echoes of Muammar Gaddafi's ambitious gold dinar plan resonate through Traore's own economic reforms. Gaddafi, the former leader of Libya, understood the power dynamics of the global financial system. He recognized that true economic independence for Africa hinged on breaking free from the dominance of the U.S. dollar and the institutions that control it. His solution was as bold as it was controversial: a Pan-African currency backed by gold. Gaddafi's proposal sent shockwaves through Western capitals. The very notion of an African currency challenging the supremacy of the dollar was deemed a threat to the established economic order. The gold dinar represented more than just a monetary system. It symbolized a shift in power, a move towards African self-determination that threatened Western hegemony. Though ultimately unsuccessful, Gaddafi's vision laid bare the deeply entrenched inequalities of the global financial system and inspired a new generation of African leaders. Captain Traore appears to have drawn inspiration from Gaddafi's defiant spirit, albeit with a more pragmatic approach. Recognizing the limitations of a single currency system, Traore has focused on strengthening Burkina Faso's economic sovereignty through a multi-pronged strategy. His reforms, though less radical than Gaddafi's grand vision, are no less ambitious in their scope and potential impact. By nationalizing key industries, establishing state-owned companies, and creating national gold reserves, Traore is laying the groundwork for a more self-reliant Burkina Faso. Captain Traore's economic reforms represent a decisive break from the neoliberal policies that have dominated Africa for decades. He has made it abundantly clear that Burkina Faso's resources belong to its people and will no longer be plundered for the benefit of foreign corporations and their local collaborators. Traore's administration has implemented a series of bold measures designed to wrest control of the nation's economic destiny from the grip of Western institutions. Central to Traore's strategy is the establishment of state-owned companies in strategic sectors, such as mining and agriculture. He believes that these industries, vital to Burkina Faso's economic well-being, should be controlled by the state, not by foreign entities. This move has been met with fierce opposition from Western governments and multinational corporations, who accuse Traore of economic nationalism and protectionism. However, Traore remains undeterred, arguing that true economic independence requires control over one's own resources. In addition to nationalizing key industries, Traore has also taken steps to reduce Burkina Faso's dependence on foreign aid and investment. He has called for a return to traditional agricultural practices, promoting self-sufficiency in food production. Traore's government has also launched a national postal bank, aiming to provide financial services to those excluded from the traditional banking system. Furthermore, Traore has sought to diversify Burkina Faso's international partnerships, forging closer ties with countries such as Russia and China.
Join me as I dive into the world of finance and see if I can figure out whether Captain Ibrahim Traore can really outsmart Western banks. Captain Ibrahim Traore is a name that's been making waves in the financial sector, particularly when it comes to Africa's economic future. As a proponent of financial independence, Traore's vision is centered around freeing Africa from the shackles of Western economic control. His approach to this goal is multifaceted, focusing on strengthening local economies and promoting self-sufficiency. African economies have long been plagued by their reliance on Western banks. This dependence has led to a significant outflow of capital, as profits are siphoned off to foreign investors, leaving the local economies with very little. The implications are far-reaching, stifling growth and development. Western banks often impose stringent conditions on loans, which can lead to austerity measures that affect the most vulnerable populations. Furthermore, the influence of these banks can lead to policies that favor foreign interests over local needs. This reliance also makes African nations susceptible to economic fluctuations in the Western world. When Western economies experience downturns, the ripple effects are felt across the globe, impacting African economies significantly. It's a cycle that's been perpetuated for decades, leaving many to wonder if there's a way out. Moreover, the lack of control over their own financial systems means that African countries have limited ability to implement policies that would benefit their populations. The influence of Western banks extends beyond economics. It also affects the political sovereignty of African nations. With significant control over the financial systems, these banks can exert pressure on governments, potentially swaying policy decisions. This dynamic creates an uneven playing field, where African nations struggle to assert their independence. Traore's movement aims to challenge this status quo. To truly understand the depth of the problem, one must consider the historical context of Western bank involvement in Africa. Colonial legacies continue to influence economic structures, with many African countries still operating within frameworks established by their colonial powers. This historical dependence has perpetuated a system where Western banks maintain a significant grip on African economies. Exploring the innovative strategies proposed by Traore, we see a focus on leveraging local resources and promoting intra-African trade. He advocates for the development of regional financial systems that can support African businesses and governments, reducing the need for Western intermediaries. This approach not only aims to retain wealth within the continent but also to foster economic resilience. One of Traore's key proposals is the establishment of an African continental currency, which would facilitate trade and investment across borders without the need for conversion into Western currencies. This move could significantly reduce transaction costs and make African products more competitive on the global market. By cutting out Western banks, Traore believes that Africa can reclaim its economic destiny. The emphasis on digital banking and fintech solutions is another critical component of Traore's strategy. By harnessing technology, Africa can leapfrog traditional banking systems and provide financial services to the unbanked population. This not only promotes financial inclusion but also offers a competitive advantage in the global marketplace. Traore's initiatives also involve creating partnerships with other countries and financial institutions that share his vision for a more equitable economic order. By forging alliances, he aims to build a robust network of support for African economies, enabling them to negotiate from a position of strength. One of the most compelling insights from Traore's initiatives is the potential for African nations to issue their own currencies, independent of Western control. This move could mark a significant shift towards financial sovereignty. Issuing their own currencies would allow African countries to implement monetary policies tailored to their specific needs, rather than adhering to guidelines set by Western financial institutions. The development of local banking systems that prioritize African businesses and individuals could be a game changer. By focusing on local development, these systems can provide more accessible and affordable financial services. This approach not only empowers local economies but also ensures that the financial sector serves the needs of the people, rather than external interests. A critical breakthrough in Traore's approach is the emphasis on cooperation among African nations. By working together, they can create a united front against Western economic dominance. This solidarity could pave the way for a new era of economic cooperation and development in Africa. The success of Traore's vision hinges on the support and participation of the African diaspora. By engaging with those who have the skills, resources, and knowledge, Traore aims to build a comprehensive strategy for economic liberation. In summary, Captain Ibrahim Traore's vision for outsmarting Western banks centers on financial independence through innovative strategies, local economic empowerment, and technological advancement. The potential impact on the future of banking in Africa could be profound, offering a pathway to self-sufficiency and economic resilience. What do you think about Traore's strategies? Can he really outsmart Western banks? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you're interested in more videos on African finance and economic development, be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
Well, that's the news for tonight. Thank you so much for continually supporting our content. If you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and share this with your friends and family. I'm sure they would find it interesting as well. We're very excited to continue this journey with you. We thank you all for bringing certain stories to our attention, and for continually keeping us updated with certain events around the world.